if you look at the West macro tracker, you will see here that overall the US economy is still at the top. For a long period of time, the US dollar has been the strongest currency, but it's still there. The second economy you are seeing here is Japan, but Japan is beginning to drop slightly. Okay, I really want it to come towards the last three before I can think of taking any trade related to Japan. Then you can also see that Euro is beginning to appreciate significantly. If you compare the previous rating to the current one, it has appreciated by 20%. And it is the highest compared to the other ones. So Euro is actually a currency we should be looking at buying this coming week. The three weakest currencies you are seeing: Australian dollar, the pound, and New Zealand dollar. The top three are the US dollar, Japanese yen, and the euro. Then you have Switzerland and Canada at the mid level. Okay, so overall, we're going to pair the top currencies against the weak ones. If you take USD and pair it with New Zealand dollar, you are seeing NZD USD. For this currency pair, we will be trading in favor of the US dollar, so we will be looking for a sell. Now we also have pound US dollar. This currency we have been selling for a significant period of time, and based on what the macro tracker is showing us, we will continue to sell it in this coming week. Then we are also going to see a currency like AUD against US dollar. So these three currencies we will be looking for sell setup because we do not trade against the direction of the macro. Okay, so the fundamentals tell us what direction we should be looking to trade into. Then if you take the second currency here, I told you that I do not like buying the Japanese yen. I only look at trading Japanese yen pairs when the Japanese yen is very weak towards the last three. So I will skip the Japanese yen and go to the euro. Okay, so if you are pairing euro against the weakest currency, you are seeing something like euro, New Zealand dollar. This currency you will be looking for a buy for it. Then you also have the euro against the pound, GBP, and then you have the euro against Australian dollar. So these three currencies we will be looking for buy opportunities. So looking at this, you have already seen about 6 signals. But if you are going to diversify, you will only look for 2 currencies out of these 6 so that you will not repeat a currency 2 times. Okay, these are the currencies that we have here. If you are going to pick one from here, you should also look to pick one from here, and then at least in the coming week you should have nothing less than 2 valuable swing trades to take, and these swing trades should be diversified, well diversified. I also think that since the US dollar is extremely strong, something like USD CAD would be a buy also in the coming week, and then something like USD CHF would also be buying. So having said this, I want us to go to the chart and look for these trading opportunities. So I will start with the euro trades and I'll come to the USD trades later, because we have been trading in favor of the US dollar for a long period of time. For about months now, we have been buying the dollar and selling the pound. We have been buying the dollar and selling the New Zealand dollar. We are also buying the dollar and selling the euro. But this week we will not be trading against the euro, because when it comes to the macro strength, the euro has acquired strength. Okay, so let's go to the chart and look at this. The first one is euro New Zealand dollar. I always start my technical analysis from the weekly time frame. So if you look at it from the weekly time frame, what you will see here is that the euro New Zealand dollar has been in a range. Let me mark this thing clearly so that you will see. Okay, if you look at it from this level, the euro New Zealand dollar has been ranging, okay, down to this level, as you can see clearly. Then the market was pushing back towards this zone. It has not yet reached there, and at this level the fundamentals is showing us that we should look for buy opportunity. So if you come to the daily time frame, what do you see? On the daily time frame, what I see here looks like a double bottom. The market pushed up came back down and formed a double bottom there, which showed us that there is a momentum that the market is beginning to push up again. And this seems to agree with what we have seen in the fundamentals. So if I come to the 4-hour time frame, do we have a trading setup? Of course, based on what I am seeing here, you can see that this looks like a head and shoulder pattern. The market has already broken this neckline. If you take something like maybe a trend line and draw around here, the market broke there and started up. But that is not what I'm actually looking at. If you delete this, the market pushed from here up, down, and has pushed up to this level. If you go to a lower time frame like 1 hour, you will see a significant trend. But I like to end my analysis on the 4-hour time frame because this is where I like to pick my entry. So if you are taking a Fibonacci retracement from this level down to this up and you scroll up, this looks like a good place for me to wait for a significant entry. The market pushes down to this level and show me reversal sign. This can be a good level to look for an entry. It can also push down to the 78 point something fib level and give me entry. Any of those levels, I will look to take this trade next week. But to pick the trade from where it is, I don't think it is reasonable to just pick the trade from this level up. You can actually do this. Maybe take your Fibonacci retracement from this level to there and assume that it has the 61.8 fib level, but I don't want to go through that route. Instead, I'll wait for it to come and settle around this zone, and then you can look for a buy opportunity. Actually target a risk reward ratio with minimum of 3, or you can even keep the trade for a longer period of time. If you enter 2 entries, you should exit one and leave the other. If you look at the Euro AUD, we traded this thing from here, we sold down. But let's look at the weekly time frame. You can see it is similar to what you saw on Euro New Zealand dollar. This market is clearly in a range, so we have been battling along that range for some time now. So it came to the bottom of the range, and I think it's about to start pushing up. Come to the daily time frame. What do you see, technical analyst? What you have seen here, this look like a double bottom, just like what we saw on Euro New Zealand dollar. So taking this, you come down to the 4-hour time frame. The market has significantly started a very smooth trend. So let me show you what is happening here. The market moved from here up, came down, and this is a mini trend that has formed here. If you are a short-term trader, you might think that this has continued, but to me, what I would like to see before I place a trade in the coming week will be something like this. For the market to move and give us a significant retracement like from here to here, then I will be expecting the market to trade back to this area, yes, 61.8 fib level, before I will look for another entry. If there is volatility due to the extreme strength of the euro, this might just continue from here up, but I would like to see this movement down to this zone before I can look for an entry. So you can also follow up this trade. That's for Euro AUD. If you are taking Euro New Zealand dollar, you should not take Euro AUD because they are correlated pairs. So you can look for one of them that best gives you the opportunity. For Euro Pound, you can see based on our macro analysis, you see that the euro is getting a lot of strength and pound is beginning to be weak. So if you go to the weekly time frame, what do you see here? What you see here is that this market is in a downtrend. The market pushed down, came up, pushed down again, came up there and is down. If you are going to buy this currency pair, you know that you are buying a retracement, not an impulse move on the higher time frame. Okay, but we will still look for a buy opportunity, but you should know that whatever you are doing with this trade, start from here and end when it comes to this trend line. Unless the market will come to this trend line, if the euro becomes extremely strong and break and retest, then you will know that the trade is going to continue for a long period of time. But at the time being, this is what I have seen, that this market is going to buy, maybe to continue this movement for maybe a week or 2 or 3 before the next sell opportunity. But if you come to the daily time frame, what do you see there? You see that the market actually broke this structure, came down and is pushing back up. This trade looks very technical, very technical, and you need to be careful. But if you come to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see there? What you can see here is that this market is beginning to give something like a new trend up. From here it pushed up, gave you a low and a high. Now if by next week it does this, we can look for buy opportunity. And if we are buying, the buy should not be kept for too long, and we should also watch for the fundamentals, whatever might happen. If you're taking a long position, maybe around this zone, target a risk reward ratio of 3. You can even get a risk reward ratio that is higher than 3. But once the market approaches that trend line, you should be out of the trade and watch for a break and retest of that trend line. I think the next trade we should look at is New Zealand dollar, US dollar, because it's among the ones we marked. For this currency pair, you can see that we have been selling this currency for a long period of time, because if you look at the fundamentals, New Zealand dollar has been weak for some time, and people in my community, I always tell them, don't trade against the direction of the fundamentals. If your technical analysis is showing you a trade that is against the direction of the fundamentals, just wait. Whatever your trading method might be, always make sure that the trade aligns in the direction of the fundamentals, because I believe strongly that the fundamental gives you the direction of the market, while technical analysis should only tell you when to enter. Should you enter now or should you wait? That is the purpose of technical analysis. Some people get this thing wrong when they think that technical analysis should be everything, giving them both the trade direction as well as the entry point. Looking at Euro New Zealand dollar, on the weekly, you see that this market has been ranging from that level to this level here, okay, so that has been the range. We sold from here 1 2 3 4 5 6, almost 7 weeks we were selling this particular currency pair, because the fundamental showed us that we should be selling and the technical also aligned. But at this moment, the fundamental is still telling us to look for sell setup. Okay, so coming to the daily time frame, what do we see from the daily time frame? Last week we were somewhere around here. This thing happened. Okay, so I told people we should wait for it to break this level before we look for sell, and it happened. But this week, what we will be doing is still looking for a sell. And if you look at it, this level that we have marked here, for some time the market has not breached. It has been testing that level. We saw a false breakout here, and it was breaking with wicks. But what we have seen here last week is that it's a clear break out, and you are seeing a retest of that level. So if you come to the 4-hour time frame, this is what is clear. The market clearly broke this level, retested, and is down. So this coming week, what might happen? Because right now, if you go back to the weekly time frame, let's see what is going on there. You can see that we have this level to contend with. There is this level here, which is a major target for this currency pair, and yet a minor level that might have a little significance is here. So watch out for these two places that we have marked. They are going to play a significant role in the coming week as we'll be trading. If you use your marker from here and see, this looks like around 70 pips movement. So there is a little trading opportunity there. Then if we finish with that, we'll be having a longer movement here. Okay, and this is around 200 and something pip movement. If you come down to the 4-hour time frame, because I always make my entries at the 4-hour time frame, you should watch for trading setup from here. After Monday, we might just see a nice rejection from here. It might just up here and continue down. We are only looking for sell opportunity on this. The market can also do this. It can also come from here down and then push from here to this zone, and then we'll be looking for the next sell opportunity. All right, so we are looking for sell. You should just watch out for Monday. Whatever happens on Monday should give you enough information whether you should be selling from this level or should wait for a more significant retracement to this zone, which is the zone that I like to trade most of the time. This zone between the 61.8 fib level and the 78.6 fib level, those levels are good. But what I think might happen, we might actually get a trade from here down, and that major retracement might not happen because of this. The New Zealand dollar is extremely weak while the dollar is there, so just bear in mind. Then finally, we'll be looking at pound against the US dollar. For pound against US dollar, this trade has been there for us, giving us money for a long period of time. I can actually remember when we smashed this trade from here. We have been selling somewhere around there, and we've been coming down for weeks. We have been selling and coming down, and I do not think the sell is going to end anytime soon because of the fundamentals. The US dollar is still very strong and the pound still looks very weak. Okay, so looking at the weekly time frame, you can see a clear break of this level. What do you think? It is contending with this level here. Okay, so by next week, let me just mark this point. It's contending with this level here, and And if I want to mark the candle body there, you can see that it closed below that candle body. So if you go to the daily time frame, let's see what we just marked there. So it has already broken this level, and it's contending with this one here. So this is what we see on the daily time frame. Then check 4 hours. On the 4-hour time frame, the market broke retest, gave us that retracement and then back. So if you are waiting for a major retracement, something like this, which is still possible, then you might not be looking for a trade on this next week. Something like this, if you are waiting for this trade to push all the way to this zone before the next sell opportunity, it is possible. And if that happens, this trade is going to look very sweet. It's the kind of trade that I can place the trade and go to sleep, and it can continue to give me money, because these are some of the trades that I call and I just tell people, just go and sleep. It will happen if this thing pushes to this level. But at the moment, what I think might happen next week, which you should be mindful and trade with discretion, is that this trade might just push back a little and then continue. So if you are taking the Fibonacci retracement from this level to here, then you will see that this is a possibility for next week. So what you should watch for, a push back to this zone, and then you see reversal candlestick pattern, and then you can enter the trade and take that next sell. We are looking for entries around this zone, this level and this level. Anything that happens around that zone, we can either take a sell or we might not take a trade. Just watch what happens and react accordingly. Let's go to Forex Factory and see what might move the trades in the coming week. If you look at the new week from the 18th, Monday 18th of November down to Friday the 22nd of November, just notice that Wednesday is going to be my birthday. That's a good one. On Monday the 18th, the Bank of Japan governor will be speaking, so listen to him and what he has to say. If you are concerned with trading the Japanese yen PS, then there is not a major news that might move the market based on what I've seen here. The monetary policy meeting in Australia is going to happen, so you can also watch out for what is going to happen there. But what I think is going to move the market, you see final CPI for euro. This is going to affect our rating. Okay, so the CPI for eurozone is forecasted to be still around 2.0%, and then Canada will also record their CPI data on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, which is the 20th, the United Kingdom will publish their CPI data, and the CPI is actually expected to move from around 1.7 to 2.2, which, if this happens, is going to contribute a little to the strength of the pound. And the Bank of Japan governor is still going to speak on the 20th. Then you have a speech by the governor below, but those speeches might create a little volatility, then it will stabilize. But what will affect our macro rating is what I have just shown you, the CPI data that you are seeing from all those countries, and then you are also going to have CPI from Japan as well, and then retail sales from the United Kingdom is going to affect the rating on Wednesday. Retail sales in Canada as well, and retail sales in New Zealand, though this will be on Sunday, right? That will be next week. But overall, you should watch out for retail sales in Canada, which is expected to drop. If this happens, you should expect the Canadian dollar to weaken a little on the macro rating. For United Kingdom, the retail sales is projected to drop from 0.3 to around minus 0.3. If this happens, you also notice that there's going to be a weakening of the pound. If that happens, then when it comes to the contribution of the CPI, if the CPI appreciates, it's going to help the pound. And then for eurozone, if the CPI remain neutral, it will keep the euro rating at the level we have seen it. Okay, so watch out for those events, and then we will be updating our macro rating, and whatever opportunity the market gives to us, we'll be trading accordingly. These trade ideas you have seen are just what the market is showing us now. They can change according to the data. It has been a wonderful time with you guys. If you need a one-on-one coaching on how to trade, there is a link that you can chat me directly, and we'll be glad to have you in the community.